Owen Kelly was tormentor-in-chief when Tipperary beat Offaly in their previous championship meeting, the corner forwards applying 112 of their total in the 07 qualifier. And even though the captain was on fire again at Portlaoise, there was a more even spread of scores for Tip this time round. Declan Fanning set up at year old Ryan for a nice early one. And even though they weren't hitting any great heights when Noel McGrath struck a beauty from near the sideline, he became the fifth Tip man to split the posts in the opening 17 minutes and put his side 6 points to 1 in front. Offaly were hassling and harrying, but looked tired and weren't able to penetrate nearly as often as they needed to. Joe Bergen's effort was one of just 2 points from play they scored in the whole first half. They did have 9 wides though. Of course, they were playing into a massive wind, but even without being outstanding, Tip were still pulling further and further clear, continuing to find new scoring threats, like David Young and Brendan Maher from midfield. 8 different first half scores for the Munster men, 9 points up at the break at 14 points to 5. But Liam Sheedy mustn't have been all that impressed. He kept the Tip players in the dressing room so long at half time, the linesman had to go into the tunnel to call them out. And it didn't seem to make much difference. Tip continued to be the dominant force without ever really setting the world alight, showing occasional flashes of what they're capable of, like the link-up play between Ryan and McGrath, and Owen Kelly brought his own tally to 6. Offaly might have been frustrated when a Daniel Kerm's effort was then waved wide by one umpire and over by another, and were definitely frustrated when Kevin Brady was picked out and handed a straight red for an off-the-ball incident with less than 10 minutes left. Shane Dooley's free-taking had been immaculate throughout, but not even a late goal for him, which put the final deficit at a respectable 6 points, could mask the fact that this was far too easy for Tipperary and they hadn't even come close to peaking. Final score in Portlaoise, 21 points to 112, bring on Galway in the quarter-final.
Thankfully the leads that we've got stood, because I guess the last 10-15 minutes we haven't really been finishing out the game, but we go in, as I said, and that's the area we've got to work on for next week.
We didn't play quite as well as we did against Galway either now, we just didn't get back up to the heights of those 2 games, and today was our 4th game in 5 weeks as well, so maybe that might have told a little bit,
Alright then, well, let's get some reaction maybe first on Dublin versus Antrim, because the quarter-final draw is going to look like this. It's Antrim versus Cork and Tip versus Galway.